Good morning and welcome to day 74 on the PCT. That's right, I stayed here for a couple days. I'm just walking out of Snoqualmie Pass. I got here Monday, stayed the night, and took a day off on Tuesday and yesterday. I needed the rest. Getting a late morning start today. You have to go underneath the highway to get to the trail, why it's so loud. My next stop is Stevens Pass, which is about 71 miles away. I've given myself 4 days to get there. I can do 20 miles a day if I want and get there sooner, or spread it out and do shorter days. I've got options. But anyways, I feel good. I'm all rested up. I'm ready to get back out on the trail. I've got everything mapped out from now until Canada. My expected arrival date to the border is September 21st. Saying goodbye to Snoqualmie Pass. It's been nice. The mountains here are actually very pretty. But here is the trail back to the PCT, where I will live for the next roughly 18 days. Looks like we are now entering Alpine Lakes Wilderness, Mount Baker Snoqualmie National Forest. Awesome. Five miles in 2 hours and 20 minutes. I've gone 2,000 feet of elevation. I'm impressed. It's amazing what a rest day will do for your energy. Also, it just shows me how much better shape I am since I started. Today's gonna be a long day though. I'm kind of thinking I might go 20 miles. If I do that, I will climb 5,500 feet of elevation today. That's like climbing the winter route of Mount St. Helens, except for that's only a 12-mile round trip. I think I could do it. I started late, pretty much 11 o'clock when I hit the trail, and I want to stop by 7. It gives me 8 hours to do roughly 20 miles and 5,500 feet of elevation. Can I do it? Whew. I think I can. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna keep going until 7 o'clock and see how far I can go. Military jet. It's just ducked through the valley. Right down there is where I was this morning. Those are ski slopes. But boy, it's beautiful up here. Man, I didn't know I'd be coming up this high. There's probably still snow up here somewhere. Forgot to mention the weather situation has been a lot cooler for several days now, and that's because of the time of year. It was 55 degrees when I started hiking this morning, and right now it's almost 1:30 or 2 in the afternoon, and it's only 61 degrees outside in the sun. It is definitely cooling down. You can tell the hot part of summer is over, so that's good. I'm happy about that part. The only part that worries me is that means fall is on its way. The point is, I need to hurry up and get there before the snow hits. Being up here in the mountains, 5, 6, 7,000 feet of elevation, you know, it can snow. I don't mind like a little skiff of snow overnight or something like that, but I'm talking about the major snow. Usually once it starts snowing up here, it starts snowing pretty big. You know, I don't want feet of snow. I have 18 days left until I get to the border. That puts me towards the end of September, which is kind of pushing it. It might not snow till October, or it could be an especially cold, wet winter here and start snowing tomorrow. Once you get closer to Canada, there's less and less escape options, and you know, you kind of commit to your hike at that point. Like, okay, I'm at the pass. Do I want to leave the pass? Because if I leave the pass and it snows on top of that mountain, I gotta hike back over it or hit my SOS button. So anyways, just a little update there for you guys on the whole weather situation. I'm loving it. I love the cool weather. It's just a sign that I've got to hurry up because fall is on its way, and with that, so is the snow. Starting to get very cloudy again, which gives it a really cool feel outside. Clouds are over the top of the mountains. Looks like moisture. Dark clouds rolling in. So it might not rain, but it might. So I gotta get moving and get to camp as soon as possible. I still got a good 12 miles to go. Little rodent of some kind. It's cute. This side of the ridge, looking down into that valley, and then I'm up on top of the ridge on the other side. Another beautiful valley with a lake. It's gorgeous mountains and clouds. Looks like way over there, there's a trail on the side of that mountain. See that? But what a beautiful view from up here. I wish there was a camp spot here. Here I am on the other side of the valley. Just a little bit ago, I was right there. It's just crazy to look over there and see how far away that is. And I was just over there looking at over here. It goes by a lot quicker than it feels like it should. I'm almost to the top of the elevation. You can see all around me. There are more clouds rolling in. It's very foggy, but it hasn't rained or anything yet. I haven't felt any moisture at all. It's down in the low 50s. Last time I checked, it was 53 degrees. It feels great because I am working up a huge sweat climbing up all these hills. I'm not sure my mileage. I'm probably only around 11 miles, maybe 12. I'm getting really close to that 5,000 feet of elevation mark. And like I said, if I do 20 miles today, that's 5,500 feet of elevation. And most of it was in this very beginning part. I'm gonna do it, but I'm feeling it. What was that? Sounded like a whistle. Did you guys hear that? Came from over there. It's probably some kind of a bird or something. Weird. Anyways, I don't have anything else to say. I can't really talk. Breathing too heavy. So I'll catch you guys up at the top of this ridge. On top of that ridge now, and I am in the clouds. It's dark all of a sudden and wet. Feel the moisture. It's funny how you can be in the woods in the mountains and the sun's out and it feels a certain way, and then boom, it's dark and cloudy and suddenly it takes on this whole different mysterious light to it. It's really cool just seeing the fog roll down the mountain like that. Just moving along. I must be up pretty high. I am at 5,544 feet of elevations. Not terribly far, but high enough to catch the clouds. I gotta keep moving, keep my body heat up. So I found this just off trail. Just came up from over there. And there's that. It's cool. All right, onward. Got a mountain goat up there? They just knocked a big old rock loose. See that? You heard all that whistling, and then a giant boulder just right over the path where I would have gone. What is that up there? Like, I want to say it's a goat, but at the same time, it almost looks like a freaking polar bear. It's so fuzzy. It's gotta be a goat. Yep. It's a mountain goat. It must have knocked a rock loose up there. That's crazy. Well, I'm gonna go through that section really quick right there so I don't get killed by a landslide. Right up there's where the mountain goat was, way up there, where the rocks came falling down. And I was just up on the path there and it just switched back to whoosh. And now I'm going back down in front of it again. I thought I got by it, but switchbacks just keep going. I mean, I guess I only have to go down those and then I'll be out of it, but great. Isn't it weird that all that whistling that happened right before the rocks started falling, or right as they started falling, it was like the little rodents were yelling timber, or you know, watch out. Yeah, that would be enough to kill you for sure if you were down here. I didn't actually see it, but it sounded like a decent sized rock, and it was moving quick. I don't know if I would have been able to duck out of the way in time if I was down below it. Just another, 100, 200 feet down the trail, and would have got potentially hit by that. All right, I'm gonna get out of here really quick. I'm gonna get down before more rocks fall. Not the best place to be with homicidal mountain goats or rodents, whatever pushed that rock. Oh, not you again. Trying to throw rocks at me? That's a long ways down. That's where I'm making camp tonight, right there. That flat spot. It's 0.8 miles away. All downhill from here. It's close to 7:30. It's 51 degrees. I've gone about 14 miles, but I just finished climbing that 5,500 feet of elevation. Apparently, I didn't need to do 20 miles to get the elevation today. It was all in the first 14, so that's more elevation than I've ever climbed in a single day here before on the trail. It didn't feel that bad, to be honest with you. I'm not really tired. I'm super hungry, though, and I'm getting chilly. My hands are moving slow. That's as fast as I can move them. So I need to get down there, warm up, eat some food. So I'll catch you down the hill in just a little bit. All right, found a camp spot. See here, it's pretty flat. It's in a livestock camping area, but no, it's actually not bad. And the views are pretty awesome. Check that out. Got mountains all around me. Got that amazing fog wall coming right over the top of the mountains. So, yeah, this spot will work. Okay, I got my tent all set up. It's pretty dark outside now. You can see my breath. It's cold. 48 degrees. It's like 8 o'clock. Yeah, 8:07. So a little later than I planned on getting to camp, but I'm here. I'm gonna set my bed up and then get some dinner rolling. I don't know if I'll film that or not. If I don't, I'll see you guys in the morning on day 75. Crazy. It's so beautiful out right now. clear skies, sun's up. Got pretty warm in my tent this morning quick. Got up almost to 70 degrees with the sun shining in here. It's really wet, lots of condensation. You can see it's just soaked. It's about 8 o'clock. A little bit later start, but I've only got 3,400 feet of elevation to climb today. I'll check in with you guys in a little bit. Welcome to day 75 on the PCT. Let's see what time it is. 9:15. That's not terrible. And I could wake up a lot earlier. I could. But I've been able to get as far as I need to go lately by waking up around 7. It works for me. I'm not trying to do 25, 30 miles a day, especially not here in Washington, so it's okay. It works out. Today, my plan is to do 20 miles. It's 3,400 feet of elevation gain. Should be very doable. I was reading through a bunch of the comments today, and there's a lot of black bears in this area. People were spotting them a month ago in certain spots, including the one that I plan on camping at tonight. I would love to see a bear, get it on camera off in the distance. I don't necessarily want to run into one on the trail, but decent enough distance away, I'd be okay with that. I know they're out here, tons of them. They generally stay away from humans because they're afraid. Same with mountain lions. Unless you're in a place where the bears have become habituated, which means they've lost their fear of humans, and they relate humans with food, that's when they become dangerous. That's why it's important to hang bear bags to keep food and trash picked up so they can't get into it and start associating the humans with that food. Because then that's when they end up having to be euthanized, which is sad. Nobody wants that. Bears have been out here and the cougars long before we ever have, so we gotta learn to share this place, and you're really protecting them by keeping your food locked up. So anyways, the point is, they're more afraid of you than you are of them most of the time. They're gonna run the opposite direction unless they've got cubs with them, or you know, they feel threatened for some reason, or they got a fresh kill that they're protecting. But that's not very common. You know, coming out here, people's big questions are always, why aren't you afraid of the bears and the cougars? And what are you gonna do if you meet a wild animal? I'm gonna take pictures and video of them. That's what I'm gonna do. No, I'm not afraid. I do my best to stay safe and keep them safe, and it's not a problem. My biggest concerns out here are fires or falling trees. I understand it though. The media, movies, all that stuff you see, bears and mountain lions, everything you see is scary and bad, and it just really isn't fair to them because it's not really like that. Not out here anyways. I mean, some parts of the world, you know, especially if you have grizzly bears, they're a lot more aggressive. They're bigger, they're more territorial. In some places, the wolves are a lot more aggressive and dangerous too. Out here, the wolves in Oregon, for instance, you rarely see them. They're afraid of you. So it kind of depends on where you live, but out here for sure, black bears and cougars aren't really a problem. Respect them and you should be fine. I'll stop my little soapbox rant there, but if that's all that's stopping you from getting out in the woods and camping, or if it's a big part of it, just know that it's really not as big of a threat or a danger as you may think it is, and just learn to do your part, camp safely, and you should be fine. And the more you do this, the more you get out in nature and face those fears, then that's when you start to realize that, oh, it's really not as big of a threat as I thought. You know, because I admit I kind of felt the same way when I was younger. I went out and camped by myself one time, and I packed up in the middle of the night and left because I kept hearing noises in the bush, and I thought it was a monster or a bear. A bear, not a monster. But now, not even a second thought. You just get used to it, and you realize that there are much bigger threats out there, much more dangerous things to worry about than bears and cougars. Like I said, wildfires and falling trees and stuff like that. So tiny. You move so fast. I can hear a waterfall in the distance. We're coming up close. Oh wow. Look at that. That's cool. People down there. Like the water. Well, I messed up, guys. I accidentally took an alternate. I wasn't paying attention, and by the time I realized it, I've already taken this alternate 0.6 miles. The good news is it leads right back up to the PCT in about another 0.9 miles. The bad news is now I have to cross this creek. I made it over that half of the creek, jumping over rocks, so I kept my feet dry, but this one over here, I couldn't find a way over without just walking through it. So I have my Crocs on and I'm gonna do my first river crossing, taking my shoes off. This water's gonna be ice cold. It's coming right off of a glacier. You can see it way up there. That's snow right there. That's where this is coming from. So, alrighty, I'm stalling. Oh, that is so cold. Oh boy. Yeah. Thankfully I'm doing this with Crocs on. Oh my God. That water is so cold. Feels kind of good on my feet, not gonna lie. Almost across here. The river's not moving too fast, so. Oh man. That is some cold water. Oh, I tell you what, if you fell in that would take your breath away so quick. I don't really know exactly what way to go. Let me show you what my map looks like. Far Out's a great app if you have your trail downloaded, but if you don't, this is what it looks like. I am here. You can see the red line is the PCT, and that black circle with the arrows marks an alternate route or a trail junction. I walked straight through, not paying attention. I should have gone left, and I instead went right. So here I am now, way out here. It joins back up again here. Okay, it's the Lima Meadow Trail. So that's where I need to go. I'm going to continue taking the Lima Meadows Trail that direction once I put my shoes on here. And it should take me all the way back up to that junction there. My bad. That's the first time I've done that. Thankfully this one goes back to the PCT and I don't have to hike another 0.6 miles. All right, let me get my shoes back on and I'll keep on hiking. I just want to say for the record, Crocs make amazing stream crossing shoes. First time I've ever used them for that. It was great. I had awesome traction. It doesn't keep your feet dry, but it keeps them protected from the rocks. That was great. So I'm gonna head back out here. I guess this is a happy accident for me. It's the same amount of miles as the PCT, but it's a less elevation climb than if I had stayed on the PCT. So I didn't do it on purpose. I'm not trying to cheat, but it's the same amount of miles and it's slightly easier. So win-win in my book. I just made it back onto the actual PCT. The sign right here, and you can see on the map the detour I ended up taking in green. Yeah, led me all the way back up here, thankfully. I gotta pay closer attention. I don't want something like that to happen again. I got lucky. I could have had to backtrack, which would have cost me a little bit of time and energy. Not a ton, but I don't know where the sign was back there, but I totally missed it. First time that's ever happened. It's easy to zone out when you're out here on trail. You just walk 10, 12 hours a day. Eventually your mind kind of just zones out. It's you get tunnel vision almost. Every once in a while there's something cool to see, but then other times I get lost in thought, and before you know it, I'm 0.6 miles down an alternate trail, the wrong direction. I'm about to enter some elevation. You can see there
2,528 feet of elevation, over 6.1 miles. I'm the little billy goat down in the corner, and that's the hill I'm climbing. Once this elevation's out of the way, it's all downhill pretty much the rest of the day. Just gotta buckle down and get this out of the way, and then I'll be good. Decided to stop and eat some lunch before I go up all that elevation. It's almost 2 o'clock. I was hungrier than I thought. So I'm gonna eat some lunch, which is today basically consisting of snacks. I don't feel like making anything. My feet hurt. They've been hurting a lot more lately. Usually I can go 8 to 12 miles before they really start hurting. Since I left Snoqualmie, man, within 6 miles or so, they're just killing me. I don't want to pop a bunch of Advil all day long. That's not good for me. I guess I might just be having an off day. I'm feeling out of it. I don't feel like doing a lot today. I'm going to, but it's going to be one of those days. Just got to push through. I'm going to get back to eating. There's a beautiful, huge waterfall up there. I wish I could get closer to it. You see the glacier right up there, and then this waterfall that comes down in multiple places. Man, what a beautiful, beautiful view this is. I wish you could see it in person. Check out this giant green slug I found crossing the trail. This thing's big. There's my finger for comparison. That's the size of his head. Look at that guy. Hey, buddy. How's it going? It's almost the length of my hand. Just slowly moving across the trail. As I climb higher, I'm realizing just how big that glacier is. That is a lot of snow up there. Look how thick that is. I just realized that yesterday I told you guys I had a plan all the way up to Canada, and I was going to tell you about it, and then I forgot. So I'm going to tell you about it now. I am 2 days away from Stevens Pass. There's no fire closures between here and Stevens Pass, but after Stevens, there is a fire. It's a small closure, I think 13 miles of trail. So I'm going to take the detour around that fire closure, and then I'll be clear all the way to Stehekin. Past Stehekin, there's another closure. It's a 15-mile long closure. It's a 70-mile long detour. You can hike that around the fire closure, but you're adding a lot of miles. So I am going to skip it. I don't think hiking 70 miles to get past a 15-mile closure is worth it to me. So what I've done is I've called Jason, my son, and my dad. I've coordinated for them to drive my car up to Chelan, Washington on the 18th. So when I get to Stehekin, I can take a ferry across Lake Chelan to the city of Chelan, and then I will take my car that they drop off to me, and I'll drive to Mazama, which is about an hour, hour and a half drive. And then from there, I will take Forest Road up to Harts Pass, park it, and from Harts Pass, it's about 31 miles to the Canadian border. Once I get to the Canadian border, I have to hike back because I don't have a permit to go into Canada. My plan is to hit the border September 21st, and then I'll hike back 30 miles to my car. I'll get back to my car on September 22nd and drive myself home. Snow can happen anytime, so the earlier I finish this, the better. That's my plan, assuming no new fires, no snow. 14 more days till I'm home. I think I'll be able to beat the snow, and I'll still be proud of myself. I'm still gonna end up over 900 miles hiked. I can live with that. This view is beautiful. Got about another 700 feet of elevation to go. Get out to the top, and then it's all smooth sailing from there. Be flat for a little bit with a tiny bit up and down, and then downhill all the way to camp. Now it's 4 o'clock right now, and I'm only at about 11 miles. I have to make 20 miles today. been in the mid to high 70s this whole afternoon, but I can definitely feel difference between my output in warm weather and cool weather, because yesterday it was in the mid to low 50s and I did 5,500 feet of elevation gain yesterday. It felt easier than this. Maybe I'm just tired from yesterday, I don't know. But I think when it's colder outside, I do better. I know 70s isn't like super hot, but it's like 25 degrees hotter than it was yesterday afternoon, so that makes a big difference. I'm leaving that side of the mountain, come across the ridge, and this is the view on the other side. Even more beautiful mountains off in the distance. That's a big one. I don't know how close I'm coming to that. 2,500 feet complete, over 6.1 miles. I have 1 liter of water left on me. I'm gonna stop and filter it. There's supposedly some water pretty close by within the next mile or two. So I need to stop, fill up. I'm dehydrated, my mouth is dry. I've been drinking these Element electrolyte packets. They've got a lot of sodium, 1,000 milligrams per packet. No sugar, only 2 carbs per pack. There's no coloring or anything in them. I think it has stevia for sweetening. They have really good flavors. They are very salty, but it tastes good when you're thirsty. I really like these. I've been using about 1 or 2 a day because I'm sweating like crazy. I used to use liquid IVs all the time, or Nuun, N-U-U-N, Nuun, and I like those. But these have a lot more sodium, and I realized out here on the trail when you're sweating, like right now, I wish I could show you, but my whole forehead is just gritty. It's like sand. It's salt. It's sweating out salt. So I've been using these. I love them. I'm not sponsored by these guys, by the way. I'm just really sold on these since I've been using them. Them and Athletic Greens. That's another thing I've been using on the trail daily is Athletic Greens. AG1 is not a sponsor, but I've been using AG1 for well over a year now. Personally, I bought it for myself, and I can tell a difference, especially being out here on the trail, hiking all these miles every day, not really getting the greatest nutrition from the food I'm eating. I think it's really helped a lot in my energy levels and my health. And I might actually reach out to them when I get home to see about working with them, just because I like their products a lot. All right, it's 7:45 and I made it to the Waptis River. I ran most of the last 6 miles downhill. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. My legs are tired, but all I have to do is cross this bridge. And there's a campground about 100 feet east, it says. So first I'm gonna go down, get some water. Looks like I can cross and then get water. Look at that. Beautiful mountains in the background, stream. Same down on this side. That's cool. I made it just in time. It's not completely dark yet. That's good. I'm tired. I haven't trail run with a pack like this for a long time, especially that far. I'm gonna climb down here and get some water, and then get a campsite and check back with you guys. All right, I made it to camp. Got my tent set up. There's other people around, so I gotta be really quiet. But I did 20.5 miles today. About 3,400 feet of elevation gain. Made it here by 8 o'clock, so I gotta get up earlier tomorrow. I'm gonna try to wake up at 7, get on trail by 8. It was 9:15 this morning when I got started, which was way too late. 8 o'clock should be enough time. Get my bed set up, eat some food, and I'm gonna be out. I'm tired. I'll catch you guys in the morning. Good morning. Welcome to day 76 on the PCT. And today is a very special day. Let me tell you why. It's my birthday. Today is my 40th birthday. There's no place I'd rather be than on the trail, except for with my family. That would be cool, but we'll celebrate when I get home. 40 years old today. Out on the PCT, in the middle of nowhere. I'm loving it. Just woke up a little bit ago. It's about 8:30 right now. 58 degrees, 20 miles to go today with 5,300 feet of elevation gain. And it's amazing out here. Blue skies, not a cloud in sight, sun's up. Today's gonna be a good day. Got a good feeling about it. Remember I told you that last night I ran down the last 6 miles of trail to get to camp before dark. I haven't done anything like that for a while. I used to run a lot. I used to do 5Ks and things like that not too many years ago. But running with a pack on is not something that I've done regularly. And I don't think you're supposed to. I don't think all that weight is good on your joints. My feet feel fine, but my ankles, my Achilles, and my calves, they're pretty sore today. I can tell that I ran 6 miles downhill with a pack on last night. I'm not gonna cut it that close tonight though. Got a little bit earlier start, I'm moving quicker. I don't know what happened yesterday. I don't know where the time went. Today I'm trying to keep a pretty good pace all day long so that I don't have to bust out an extra 6 miles by running at the end of the day. This is such a nice spot. I just had to stop here for lunch. Got the stream over there. Got some ice cold water I'm sipping on, and got a cheese and meat stick and mustard wrap. Got my tent drying out over there in the sun. You can see it. Got about 8 miles. I'm making good time today. Thought I'd stop and give myself a refuel break before I got too wore out. It probably smells food. Hey. Leave it alone. Don't make me scare you away. You leave my tent alone, silly. Yeah. You leave it alone. Just came over the ridge right there, climbing up the hill, and here's the other side. More beautiful mountains. Look at that guy. Woo-hoo. That's all. It's 2:18 and I've gone 10.4 miles in 6 hours. I just got to the top of that elevation. You can see I gotta go down, up a little bit, down some more, down, and then up some more. Yeah, I'm doing good. I'll make my 20 miles. I hope I don't have to run again because my feet are sore from that, but I'll do it if I have to. come to another river crossing. You can hear it. See the water down there? All the comments said it was easy to cross if you go upstream a little bit. These are always intimidating because they sound so ferocious, you know? That water's moving quick. Look at this. That is cool. This pool right here disappears under the rocks and it comes out down there. This is a pretty easy place to cross right here, so I'm not gonna follow the actual trail. I'm gonna cross right here. These rocks look a little slippery. Let me cross real quick and then I'll get you a picture of the other side. Okay, river cross, no issues. But now I have to get back to the trail. Just down there somewhere. There's the trail right there on the other side. You can see I'm just about there. Just gotta cross this mighty giant river right here. And then I'll be over and on my way up into those mountains over there for camp tonight. So beautiful. I have a feeling this view is coming to an end soon. The direction I'm heading that way seems to be coming out of these really tall, jagged mountains. These are some of the most beautiful mountains that I've hiked in my life. It's a little after 6 o'clock. I'm only 1.7 miles from camp. I'm gonna stop at a place called Deception Lakes. Everybody in the comments make it sound like a beautiful place. The only thing is it's just slightly less than a mile away from my 20-mile mark. It'll put me at about 19 and a half miles for the day. I'd have to go up another, I don't know, 600 to 800 feet of elevation down the other side of this mountain for a couple miles to find a spot. It would be a dry camping spot if I did that. So I'm just gonna stop here tonight. Half mile away from my goal is not bad at all. We went 20.5 miles yesterday, so that makes up for it, right? There's some big boulders. Huge boulders. See, compared to me, that's pretty big. Huge bunch of them. Cool. Look at that view though. Matt, that one's for you. There it is. Deception Lakes, or one of the lakes. Look how clear that water is. See those boulders down there? That's not a reflection. You can see all the way to the bottom of this lake. That's amazing. Onward, find a camping spot. All right, I found my camp spot. There's already people camping here, which I kind of figured. But I found the spot right here. It's a little slanted, but I think right here is perfect. I'll just set my tent up right here. I've got a beautiful view of the lake over here, so I can get water. whatever I need. So I'm gonna get set up and start relaxing.